Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We had a wild day on the market today. We had quite a bit of a drop and a little bit of a bearish run in the first half, a bit of recovery in the second half. So great to see us finish a little stronger than the day. But on this channel, in today's video, we're going to talk about that wild world of stocks that we saw today, especially the ones that have been riding the AI wave. You know, if you've been watching my channel and my videos, that I focus not only on the full market and what's happening there and who the winners and losers are, but we take a big dive into the memory and the storage plays. So SanDisk and how they crushed earnings the other day, Seagate and their capacity being sold out, but also with a real big focus on the king of high bandwidth memory, which is Micron. So let's jump in and talk about three things today. What did the market do? What's going on? What's the reasons we're seeing some of the movement we had? And what does it mean for the memory sector? So today, guys, Micron was down by about 5% on the day. They finished down 5%, just under 5%, 480. And we know they achieved their all-time high yesterday, hitting almost 445, making that run to 450 we were keeping our fingers crossed for. But what's going on? Is this the start of something bad, or is this healthy noise in one of the hottest sectors within the market? Let's talk about that. So make sure you stick around and hear the video to the end, because I'm very bullish on the market still, and I'm very bullish on the memory, and I'm going to give you the reasons why. But before we get started, make sure you give a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's jump over and just take a look at what happened today overall in the market. Just real quickly, you can see the NASDAQ was down by 0.94. We had the Dow was down by 0.36, and the S&P was down by just about 0.5%. Nothing catastrophic. Still on track for a solid January, gains overall, but it was kind of a risk-off, de-risking kind of day, it felt like to me. And there were some reasons why we saw that across the board. The biggest thing is we saw Trump's announced his new nomination for the Fed chair, a gentleman by the name of Kevin Warsh, W-A-R-S-H. Warsh is seen as he's a younger gentleman, he's experienced, and he's hawkish. So he's less likely, the market feels, to slash rates aggressively. So we saw Treasury yields tick higher. The dollar strengthened today, was up by 0.8%. And it put some pressure on stocks overall. The other thing that was interesting to me today is we saw the unwinding of some of the safe haven plays. So gold was down significantly. Gold was down on the day 9% to about 4,800 an ounce. We saw gold getting to about 5,500 an ounce the other day. Silver took a bigger hit. Silver was down almost 30%, 27%, down to just about $83 an ounce. We saw this tech metal reach $111 an ounce the other day. So that took a massive hit. Some rotation out of those safe haven plays. We saw rotation out of Bitcoin as well today. Bitcoin was down by about 0.5 percentage point overall. So the lingering, and then we also saw just these lingering questions that continue to haunt the hyperscalers. If we kind of take a look overall at what's happening today on there, you can see that from the hyperscalers across the board, we had Microsoft continue to get punished despite strong earnings, but there's concerns about their ability to monetize AI, concerns with the relationship with OpenAI and the amount of money that is being funded there, their CapEx of that investment overall, and how much of that is tied up with OpenAI. But we also saw Amazon down on the day. Google was down slightly on the day. Meta took a step back today. Apple was up just about 0.5 percentage point. We saw Tesla gain as well. This is for me a very classic rotation, kind of end of the month volatility. Nothing screams crash or panic. It's just a healthy pause. Some profit taking as well, which I'll get into in a moment. But clearly, this is just a rotation in the market, a little bit of pause. We had such a great run recently. There's some concerns for sure around the ability to monetize, the amount of spending that we're seeing in AI. And I think I mentioned that we're in the phase now of moving away from AI promise now to AI profit. Investors in the market, they want to see you be able to generate revenue from all of this investment that we have in the infrastructure surrounding AI. So I think that's some sensitivity in some of the de-risking we're seeing some of the mega cap companies. Let's hope next week we have Amazon and Google that'll reverse that with their earnings. We'll keep our fingers crossed for that. But let's dive in and take a look specifically what is happening with Micron on the day. You know, this is one of my favorite plays. I want to jump in and just kind of look at Micron itself. Was down by about $20 today, about just under 5% down. We know it hit the high the other day, but you can see kind of the run that it had down, a little rally at the end of the day. But what is happening with Micron? What is your assessment? Drop it in the comments. Love to hear. For me, it's pretty easy. I think we had some classic profit taking overall with Micron. This stock has been on fire. It's had huge runs recently, blowout earnings. We hear noise around how they're selling out capacity, not only in this year, but into next year. Their CEO remains very bullish around the memory demand. We saw the acquisitions that they've done. This company's making a ton of moves to meet that demand. And you can kind of take a look at the bottom of the screen here, just the massive returns that we've seen with Micron, 41% in 1 month. I think that's 80%, just a massive over the time frame. So this, for me, is an opportunity for investors to move in and to say, you know what, I've had a great run. I'm going to take some of that profit back, put it in my pocket, and we'll see what happens with the stock. We see it with a ton of stocks that have had this parabolic move that we've seen overall with Micron. Kind of take a look at some of the after hours, what's happening. I think the story still stays the same here. A little bit more of a sell-off here in the after hours. It'll be interesting to see what we see through the weekend and how it has an impact when we come back to the stock. But overall, guys, fundamentals are still rock solid with Micron. There's still supply constraints. Hyperscaler desperation for memory equates to pricing power and massive growth potential for this company. So the pullback today of 5%, in my view, the way I'm viewing it, it's healthy consolidation. The stock's had a huge move, and we often see with stocks that have had this parabolic move, like I've mentioned, that there is a pullback usually of 3 to 7%. It's normal. It's not a red flag overall for the company. It's kind of normal what we see in the market. Many traders love these dips, myself included, because it gives you an opportunity to buy into the market on a company like Micron. They've been maybe out of your price range. You do the research to make sure if it's a right fit for you. But this is an opportunity for me to move in on Micron and buy more of the company because of the demand that's in the market, their ability to meet it, what they're doing with the development of HBM4, which will be launched later this year, and how they're also developing more advanced memory models beyond HBM4. So like I said, I'm a big believer in Micron and what they're doing in the market. And I compare that with some of the other stocks. So we know when you take a look at SanDisk, if you were in a position of selling SanDisk before their earnings or shorting it, that was a rough day for you with the way they crushed it in after hours and the way they continue to put another 7% on the board today for SanDisk. But we know that Micron's story is similar. AI demand isn't going anywhere, guys, and the memory is still the bottleneck. Expect particularly the advanced memory, and players like Micron are the ones that are going to be able to solve it for the hyperscalers. They're going to be able to want to deliver the memory play that they need. So when we just go back and kind of final, I would say for me, the common thread that I continue to see and why I believe in Micron and the memory plays, the AI demand is insatiable. It's not going anywhere. And whether that's the high bandwidth demand from Micron, whether it's the bulk storage demand that Seagate provides, or the NAND from SanDisk, the memory is flowing to these data centers, and these companies are positioned to capture that opportunity. We've even seen with Tesla, we're kind of moving the memory space beyond the data centers into other robotic devices outside, which is a great move overall too. So bottom line for me is today's dip in Micron and the market noise that we saw is a clear profit taking. I think whether it's the profit taking, the Fed headlines, a little rotation, we saw that out of the safe haven plays, but the AI memory and storage story is still very much intact and looking strong for 2026 and beyond. So if you're long in Micron or similar players within the memory or storage space, this is the kind of day where patience pays off. Dips like this are often seen as buy signals in this bull run so far. So we believe that my belief is the bull run is still be there in the long run for memory and for players like Micron. So this might be a great opportunity for you to enter into the market. But let me know what you think. Is this just a healthy pullback and rotation you see in the market? Are there other signs that you're seeing that give you more pause for concern or more weakness? So drop that in the comments. Love to hear, love to engage with each and every one of you on that.